Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just press the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. Do not be scammed. All right? Fantastic. Now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bull sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra. March 2021, money and career, 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 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And then let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Libra. March 2021, money and career, Libra. March 2021, money and career, Libra. March 2021, money and career, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic, these two. Okay. So we have listening, the throat chakra coming through. And we have self-mastery. This is the solar plexus chakra. And we're going to see how this correlates to the tarot. We have the Four of Wands and the Sun card. That's brilliant to just start off with. That's really nice. We have here the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. So there's some sort of collaboration coming forward. That collaboration can very well be between you and spirit, but there's some sort of understanding of balance, and there's some sort of healing that's stepping into the situation. It then brings us to the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Pentacles, and that is a change from a poverty mindset. So that's really quite lovely. We have the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords at the root of everything, that's super intense. I mean, that's just that is really intense right here. Okay. So let's look at what the cards have to say. We start off with listening, the throat chakra. Now, so often when we hear listening, when we think of the throat chakra, well, I always used to think of the throat chakra simply as talking. How much can I say? How much can, I be heard? That type of thing. But listening and being able to hear what isn't said, being able to tune in to what it is that we truly want and how it is that we truly desire things, that's a game changer. And that's a way that we can move forward in profound understanding of self and profound power of being. So here when we have listening coming in, it's not only saying, okay, it's time to be quiet and it's time to listen to the world around us, though that is absolutely paramount. It is also saying here, it is time to listen to ourselves as we build our careers, as we build our finances. And it doesn't matter where in the game you are, how far along you have progressed or feel like you still have to strive. It's listening to what it is that you truly desire, where it is that you truly want to be, how it is that you want to call the prosperity forward in your existence. And that act of simply stepping back, sitting in yourself, connecting with your power, with your understanding, with your truth, and saying, but this is me. And it can make things seem clearer at times, because there is a sense here of stepping into the individual self and looking at how does the individual me embrace everything that is needed in order to live a thriving, productive, powerful life. And there's some sort of revelation that comes your way that is really quite beautiful. And it leads to self-mastery, the solar plexus chakra, the listening to your gut, right? So here we listen to our guts. We listen to the sense of coming together, the sense of harmonizing the self. Now, with listening to the solar plexus chakra, it's also very important that we're very mindful of the food we feed ourselves, of the drinks we energize ourselves with how we are moving forward. So the solar plexus chakra here is opening our eyes to something so much more. And it's having us fall into alignment with ourselves, with what we desire, with what we need, with where we want to be, with what we're seeing, with what we're hoping. And it brings us to the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is a celebration. Now, here you have the wands and you have the church or the building of power and understanding. And that's what we're stepping into here, the sense of power, of understanding, of celebration. The Four of Wands is traditionally like the marriage card. So it can be finding a job, finding a passion that we're married to. It's like, oh wow, I just found quite literally my other half, or you could say figuratively, but it's that part of your soul, that part of your passion, that part of the desire that has been missing. And we know when we find it because we're in the zone. We're just completely like, oh, this is me. We feel, even if we're exhausted, we feel a bit energized. We feel like, and that's what divinity is talking about here. And it doesn't mean that this has to be your job. Sometimes the jobs that we have, they pay the bills. They get things done. They don't have to be our life calling. But to have our life calling be part of our lives, be part of ourselves, that is so important. And you might be sitting in your consciousness, and saying, Dane, but my life calling seems to be, raising my family. It seems to be, going for walks with my dogs. How does that mean anything? Nobody sees this as something worthwhile. Here's the thing. We're not living for everybody else. We are living for ourselves. I see this with my mom. She raised 6 kids on her own. She watched her family die while she was doing so, and it was so hard. And when she looks at things and says, where's my purpose? Like, what was I supposed to be doing with my life? It's like exactly what you were doing. But because everybody else doesn't see that as an astounding achievement, it isn't seen as the astounding achievement it is. And so here, it's saying, I understand what the world values. I get it. The fancier cars, the multiple houses, the bigger, the better, the wower. I get it. But I get to be happy within my life. I get to spend my life not, hitting the pavement all the time, not building and accumulating more and more and more, but saying, this is me. This is what I desire. This is what I want. And this is kind of like coming home. This is happiness and embracing that happiness. And it brings the sun. It brings the happiest card in the whole entire tarot deck just shining down on us, saying, I illuminate your path. I guide you forward. There is meaning and there is purpose here. Now, do people try to take you by eyes and say, you can't have your blessing? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what people do. When they see you walking in your truth, when they see you radiating your truth, they'll be like, oh, that's supposed to be mine, isn't it? If you're happy, that obviously means I can't be happy. That's such a load of nonsense. If people stopped being jealous and spiteful and hurtful, they could see that there's enough in the world for everyone. The sun is embracing our radiance. It's saying, this is my truth. This is my happiness. And I get to be part of my happiness. So there's some sort of, if you see here, it's just very much like this angel, kind of curled in, and then this spreading of your wings, this raising your head, raising your face to the sun, and saying, it's my time. Because it is your time, Libra. It brings us to what crowns you here. It's very interesting, because we're going to start off with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is everything we need to balance, right? Everything we need to balance, everything that needs to get done. Excuse me. And how it feels a lot of the time. There's just not time for us. I just can't do it. So with the Two of Pentacles, it's seeing our balance. It's understanding our truth. It's saying, all right, I can spend my whole life trying to balance everything. Work and home life, passion and responsibility, everything everybody wants from me, and the stuff that I still want for myself. Or just balancing everything that everybody wants. And what we forget to balance, who we forget, is part of this equation, is us. So we drive ourselves crazy, our emotions run high, we burn the candles at both ends, and we say, but I'm making it, right? It doesn't matter that I'm exhausted. It doesn't matter that it doesn't feel like I'm making it. I am. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Here, it's not saying to walk away from responsibilities, because through spirit, I highly believe in responsibilities. They give life meaning sometimes when we would just throw in the towel and say, it's too hard, it's too much. We have people we have to get up for, don't we? We have responsibilities to move us forward. And that's what guides us to a better place. And saying, I matter. Having my feet firmly planted on the ground matters. Listening to myself matters. Embracing my desires matters. And then we start to see what we're juggling, what we want, what we desire, and it leads us to the Two of Cups. It leads us to a healing, beautiful love. It leads us to a coming together emotionally of what is needed so that we can come together fiercely and powerfully in the day-to-day world. We often think, emotions don't matter. You can feel whatever you want to, just keep going. The emotions, the psychological aspect of things bleed into everything. They color everything. And so what the Two of Cups is saying here is that by balancing ourselves, by seeing the chaos that we are contending with and saying, I need to deal with this. I need to look at this. I need to understand me. That starts to bring unity to self. That starts to bring healing to soul. And it brings us to the Wheel of Fortune. It brings us to a change. Now we have the repeat of the number 10 here, which means that we're coming to an end of a cycle, especially psychologically. And the end of this cycle here with the Wheel of Fortune is showing the beginning of a new season, a new way forward, desires, understandings, truths, opening up our eyes, seeing ourselves, looking at things openly and honestly, but also knowing that seasons end. Life changes, things change. And sometimes we don't think it's for the better at all. And it's funny, because what I've experienced is in those moments where you look at things and you're just kind of standing there slack-jawed, wondering how life got so off track, how so much could go wrong so quickly. Those are the moments where we look back and we see pivotal turning points, where we see change guiding us in a way we hadn't expected. We see a new season of the soul, a new season of our lives. And sometimes we're not prepared for the terrain that comes. But it does not mean we will not learn from it. We do not grow from it. And we do not see it. Because this new season comes after a poverty mindset, after the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles is being on the outside of wealth and saying, I'm never going to get there, am I? And thinking, this is it. And here, the picture is so beautiful and yet so heartbreaking. It's like, this is what I have to defend. These are the seeds that I'm planting. This is what I'm working towards and for. There's more here. There's more here than I know. And the poverty mindset, it gets instilled in us rather young. It's the snide little remarks that a sensitive person takes to heart. It's being raised that we always struggle. Nothing in life comes free. Or do you think you're actually worth it? Type of sneering, nasty comments. And so when we start to fail, as all people do in life, which is important to note, all people fail. But when you fail and you've been told that's what's supposed to happen, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like, well, this is my life. This is what's supposed to happen. I'm only good for table scraps, if that. It's the having faith in ourselves and getting knocked down and being afraid to get back up. And it's like, okay, I've walked that path. I've lived that season long enough. Now there's change. And the wisdom that comes from learning from the 5 of Pentacles, that's astounding. That is astounding. The 10 of the major arcana, the change that comes forward, the wheel of fortune. This is big. And you'll feel like you're on a roller coaster ride at times. And there'll be times where you'll see this change of season. You'll see this coming in, right? You'll see the blessings and the prosperity and the bounty and the celebration and the happiness. And because we're so used to getting kicked in the face, it's like, when's the next shoe going to drop? When's everything going to fall apart? I know it will, because it has my whole entire life. And so when the blessings come, instead of saying, yes, thank you, we say, hold your breath and get ready for that next battle. And that is a curse laid onto our souls. That's what we're shattering here. And we might not shatter it all at once. That could be done. And I hope it is. But Spirit is saying, slowly corroding it, slowly walking away from it, is a powerful and monumental step. And it brings us to the 10 of Swords. It brings us to knowledge well fought for and earned. With the 10 of Swords, you look at it and you think, why? Why 10 swords in somebody's back? Is it the utter betrayal of life? And that's one way of looking at it, absolutely. It's also the darkness before the dawn. It's the death before the rebirth. But I've come to see the 10 of Swords, and maybe this is my medieval studies history coming up, but that's a wealth in your back. That is a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of manpower and craftsmanship. Swords were and are expensive, but they made families back in medieval times and before. If a ruler, if a general handed you a sword, they changed your life. And yes, this very much looks like a Caesar moment, a tu Brute, when he gets stabbed by everyone he thought he trusted. Now there, of course, he dies. But this is being stabbed by what we trusted in life, what we thought would be on our side, who we thought would be on our side. These are heartbreaks, and these are pains, and these are disappointments. And the 10 of Swords is a decade of this. Or it could be 10 days of it if things are being really intense, right? But it's the wealth of knowledge earned. And it's the fortunes that we hold because we lived through what we didn't want to. And it's the new dawn that comes with the truth of ourselves. And it brings us to the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups for me is always the person who raises their glass, who says, I'll be by your side, or who traditionally is supposed to be by your side, a parent, a lover, a friend, and just betrays you, just absolutely betrays you. And this is where we realize that betrayal, yeah, it was devastating. But I can do more than I ever thought I could do. There's a strength to me after I see this hurt and I mourn this hurt and I mourn the dream more so than the reality. And now I see more clearly the power that is in me. And it brings us to our subconscious message. and that is abundance, the root chakra. Subconsciously, at the root of us, Libra, is abundance, prosperity, bounty, success. That's the life we're supposed to be living. A life that is, that's it, a sigh, contented within our spirit. And it brings us to the Eight of Pentacles. Subconsciously, we're working so hard for that abundance to come forward, for the root of our existence to shine. Now, Spirit just said, make it clear, Dane. Make it clear that life has suffering to it. We see that time and time again in religious doctrine, right? In philosophies. Life has suffering to it. There is pain we cannot stop. And maybe suffering is the wrong word for it, but the best translation in Buddhism that we have, it is accepting the things that cannot be changed and do not make sense. And so that brings suffering unto the soul. But in Christianity, it's pick up your cross, carry your burden. And it's always knowing that there is suffering along the way, that there is pain and there is hurt and there is toil and there is endless, what looks like to be unfairness in this world, which goes against us. Like even as children, it's like, if it can be fair, it's like, okay, I can reason it. But if it's not fair, and I see the injustice in it, how unfair things are, why do I keep fighting? Why do I keep working? Because there is purpose to each life, and there is power to each being. It might not all be the same. That's the hard, honest truth. But this is carving out our little corner of the world and saying, this is what I dream for. This is what I fight for. This is what I want. All right, Libra. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we hold our heads up high and embrace what we have worked so hard for and move away and embrace the change that brings us out of poverty and into abundance. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.